the number one thing I want you all to really realize right now is when you go into saying that you are the anchor for a movement, you must know the data. Even when I talk to journalists, a lot of the times they're like, why are you contacting me? Create it yourself. They're like, you can do it yourself. Your client can do it yourself. There's like, you can go out there and make this rain yourself. Mm-hmm. That is how potent and powerful our voices are right now. I'm not even sure who they are. They donated a couple years ago, but they had done a $10,000 donation. And Cole and I were just sitting there going, wow, because guess what? There was a moment when we were fundraising, trying to raise $10,000, trying to get people to donate $5,000 for an award show table, lots of efforting. And at one point within the organization, I just really envisioned people donating to the organization because of what we do in the community, how we show up, and just let go.
Yeah, I believe too that it was necessary, did a lot of working and efforting and doing. And in the midst of that fundraiser, you would be exhausted.
Worn out, losing my voice, crying.
And she didn't understand. I was like, just relax, attract it. So just to see that, stepping away from it and just presenting it, because all the work that you've done, even if it's personal, that is something those are credentials and skill sets that maybe you're a great people's person, or maybe you are a great listener, whatever that is. And
those are commodities.
Just for it to drop in the bank at that point, because she actually released and let go. And you just fell in. Like, I think you would just go and check it every now and again, but something yesterday you were, it's amazing.
Yeah. Just really, that's what we're talking about when we're going into alignment. And that's what today is about, right? So it's not showing up in one area fanatical and then showing up in another area thinking that you've arrived, being like a yogi or something, right? Like, you're a whole person. You know what I mean? If you're hollering and screaming in the household all day and yelling at the kids, and then you think, shalom in the business, you're not in alignment, right? Like, your life, everything is going to show up in this flow. That's the beautiful thing about what we're training you all on right now. And it's a great yin and yang here, because Cole taught me a lot about just allowing and just being present, to where sometimes I remember there was some days where you called me like, Neff, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. She's like, oh, wow, you really then grabbed a hold of this. You're really not doing the damn thing now. And it's because we already laid the foundation for the greatness. We already laid the foundation for the excellence. So it allows for people to come to you, right? Instead of you always seeking. Right. And so we're going to go into a little bit more nuts and bolts today. We're also going to be going into, we have a really good training for you that we created. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about going through it. And so if you're just checking in with us for the first time and you are wondering, who are these ladies that are over here with these glasses on laughing? Well, we're two women who used to be able to see really well. Now we wear glasses.
Oh I couldn't do it today. I was
we need glasses, okay?
We're going to be twinning. You said you were cold the other day, so we're going to twin today.
Yes, right. And we've been knowing each other for a really long time. I'm from the entertainment space. Cole came from the entertainment space, and I'll let her share a little bit about herself. And then, really just from the modeling world, the entertainment world, I always had a love for business. I actually had my first online company when I was 18 years old. It was a membership website. And so I have always loved business. I always loved money. Let's just be real. I've been thinking about how to be wealthy since I was probably about 10 years old. I would even save my mom's paychecks because she was not good at saving, and actually save them for her retirement. And I told my mom when I was about 12 that we were poor and we needed to do something about it. And so this is the child that I was and that I still am to this day. And a big part of why we created Single Moms Planet is to educate single mothers and children about finances and wealth building and just having money conversations, right? We were talking about that yesterday, just the uncomfortableness that a lot of women have just around having money conversations, knowing what's in the bank. And even if you aren't where you want to be, saying it, it's just what it is, right? It's not that that's where you're going to end up for the rest of your life, but you need to know where you are now to know where you want to go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I believe too that when we talked about Single Moms Planet and empowering women, we wanted to change the narrative of what single motherhood looked like.
So important.
I believe the first event was great, and then we had to reshape the message. So when you're talking about media and branding, it's okay to like put yourself out there, and then the crowd will show you, and then you'll be inspired by a thought of what it is your purpose is. And I believe Nefertiti has done such a great job with Single Moms Planet by taking it where you had single mothers that were business owners, billionaires, millionaires, just really honing in on that. And we wanted to change it. I think we were just like, okay. And being in the entertainment business, we were like, have access to a whole lot of stuff.
Absolutely. And we're going to be going into that today. We'll be talking about creating those relationships, really making sure that, you know how to nurture your good relationships that you do have and how to make them legacy relationships. We both have clients that we will be working with for a lifetime. And even if we ever stop working with them, we're still invited to the holiday party. You know what I mean? We're still invited to the weddings. That's what we're talking about when you go into building a business that has integrity, that you show up and you are in the thick of it. You know, it doesn't always look pretty, especially as you climb up and you start working with high caliber clients. You're going to be, dealing with things. And that's why it's really good to make sure that you're in alignment with your own core, your own belief system, right? Because being in the entertainment business, we have 1,000 belief systems circling us on a daily basis, and people will try to get you to follow what they think is the way to go. And you have to stay really tight to your core and discernment, right? And so we'll be covering a lot of that today. And what I would love to do is really set the foundation for day 3, right? And so we're talking about the media alignment. So Cole, you have your glasses on today. Would you like to read day 3?
Yeah, so I know, right? I can see really well, you guys. So yay for me. Activating the media mindset to attract premium media. And what that means is that those partnerships with celebrities, corporations, other people that are in alignment with what you are wanting to do, and just having that synergetic alignment to being able to deliver the message to the world and make sure that that message is impactful and that it resonates with people. And there's so many people in the world. You don't have to chase the same audience that your competitors do or other people do. It's this right here is such a great ground to communicate because of media and the new wave of media, which are social media, your websites, your podcasts, your
radio,
internet, radio.
You can have your own TV show.
Yeah,
like literally. Look at Issa. Is it Issa?
Issa Rae.
Issa Rae. I mean, amazing, right? She created her own space. And look at her, right?
And they came to her.
Through YouTube is where she started, correct?
Yes, they came to her.
Yeah.
So that's basically where we want to go with just really creating your media and driving people, knowing that you have something to say and that something to say is valuable, that it's almost starting a movement, I want to say. With Single Moms Planet, there was, oh my God, tons of media and the movement. Everybody wanted to know about Single Moms Planet. And just, it was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just amazing.
And look at this, an organization that was created out of initially the need of Cole and I, because we didn't really know any women who were being highlighted. So we knew dope single moms, but the media was making single motherhood look and feel a particular way, which was typically impoverished Black women, right? That was the face of single motherhood, multiple baby daddies, all this kind of thing. And the number one thing I want you all to really realize right now is when you go into saying that you are the anchor for a movement, you must know the data, right? So I started literally picking up the phone and just talking to single moms. Most of the single moms had been married or they, only had one child, right? I mean, even when Cole was a single mom, initially she had one kid. My mom, she was a single mom. She only had one kid. And I was blown away by how the media depicts this particular thing. And then there's more white women that are single mothers than any other race, right? And so you need to know this information, and you need to know that like the back of your hand about your topic, right? What do those single mothers do? Where do they live? Where do they go? What do they drive? Because that's also going to layer into the type of media and sponsorships and support that you attract, right? And so we're going to dive into this right now. And so the number one thing that we want you to really grab right now is you're the creator of all this. You know, you really do have the ability to do what you want when you set your mind to it, when you build the foundation, and when you get proper coaching, tutoring, mentorship. It's really key that I advise you, and we advise you, don't go at it alone. I think we did that, and you can do it, but I would advise that you don't. It just takes longer. You're spending more money, you're wasting time, you're wasting money, you know, versus having people like us to just get you the streamlined support that you need to get to the result. Okay. So just try that on while we're coaching you into this right now. Right. So we've already done it, and now we're sharing with you the tools for you to get there. All right. So media is the new wave of communication. Right. And you are the new media. Right. We really are the new media.
Yeah.
Even when I talk to journalists, a lot of the times they're like, why are you contacting me? Create it yourself. You know, they're like, you can do it yourself. Your client can do it yourself. There's like, you can go out there and make this rain yourself. That is how potent and powerful our voices are right now. So even through the new media outlet, which is your voice, because right now you can turn on a YouTube channel and literally broadcast yourself. You can go to Instagram and broadcast yourself. You can go to Facebook and broadcast yourself. And through marketing and structure, you can funnel people to your channel. We come from the place where you had to have a crew of like 10, 20, 50, 100 people to have any type of television production, wardrobe, makeup, hair. It was like a 2-week prep, sometimes 6 months prep, just to get one thing shot. And so I'm just like, this is your time right now. Like, take advantage of it, because guess what? The other crazy thing is that it doesn't cost us anything as far as monetary to create this content, right?
It just takes time and commitment. And I will say, with that being said, people are searching for resources, information. They're searching for your message. They're searching for something different. They're not looking at television. They're looking at the social media platforms, the YouTube, the podcast, the radio, Facebook. They're looking for information, and you have such great access to be able to deliver a message and be impactful and influence a audience that you didn't even know existed.
Exactly.
Or
they didn't know you.
Or they didn't know you, and you thought that they were not going to want to hear you. So there's so much in the coaching and training. I will say a small story. When Nefertiti and I, we have both businesses, Cole Skincare for Men and also Single Moms Planet. We were so busy focused on driving it individually, I believe. And
True.
Even though we would converse, because we both are co-owners in both businesses, we would communicate with it until one day it was just taking us longer to do stuff. Like, she would feed on me for information, I would feed on her for information and marketing strategy and branding strategies we could do. And then one day we was like, why are we doing this separately? Like, what are we doing? So it took us, I feel like it set us back, but actually it didn't. It allowed us to really take ownership of what I'm sorry, my
no, you're good.
What need to be done to move ahead and to be able to coach you guys and really train you on what's necessary to get there and to attract the media that you want for your brand, for your personal brand or company
in your
brand,
business. Exactly.
in your business. And this is why we're here, to get you guys ready.
To get you ready. Exactly. And so what the question that we have for you right now, and we want to hear this or see it in the comments, is what style of media outlets are you personally attracted to? Right? What are you attracted to? And put that in the comments, because sometimes I think the word media can be a broad term, and the best way for you to attract media is to really look at and study the media that you like and love, because more than likely you're attracted to what you are, the vibrational link to you in those media outlets. So for example, YouTube, Instagram,
podcasts, websites, blogs, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, all of those things. But I will say each media platform has their own particular audience. So
Absolutely
in order to
true.
grab, you don't have to specialize and do content for all of them. Know where your audience is most likely looking. If it's informative, if it's instructional, you want to make sure you do a YouTube or a podcast or something of that sort. You really want to narrow it down and actually take a grip of it. You don't want to be all over the place trying to do all the platforms, because it'll exhaust you and really tire you out, and you would want to be like, okay, this is way too much work. But
or you think it's not working.
Yeah,
right.
You think it's not working.
The algorithm has an issue. I get that a lot. And it's like, no, it's not that it's not working. It's that maybe you're spread too thin. Maybe you should just focus on one platform for 3 to 6 months and really see the results that you get and really put your efforts into it. But the platforms work. It's just that we got to just take a hard look at ourselves and how we're presenting our brands, how we're representing our communication, to why the people aren't attracted to it. Right. And that's okay. That's how we get real about things. And the next thing we want you to do is what you are naturally attracted to. Right. So I said that a little bit earlier, but I really want you to sit into that. Right. So write that in the comments. What are you naturally attracted to? Beauty tutorials? Is it like steps 1, 2, 3? Is it someone just sharing stories and having conversation? Is it someone expressing through writing? Do you like to see slides? What is that? Because that may be how you create as well, so that you can create and attract exactly who you want to show up into your universe, into your world, right? Because you're going to be on the same frequency, really.
Yes,
absolutely. And so as we go into our next step of this exercise, we want you to, really get into alignment with, let's share what we're learning here, right? And so just take a moment to take a screenshot, take a selfie of yourself, take a screenshot of the computer screen, your workbook, whatever you are doing right now that's involved in what we're doing for the Divine Media Manifestor. Share what we're creating here, right? So when you share this type of data and you share this information, you get more and more in alignment with what you're creating as well, because more people know what you're doing. There are so many people in this world who still don't have a clue about who you are, what you do. Literally the other day, we were thinking about content that we've posted. And I'm like, post that content 3 times before you start saying, I've already posted this. I mean, seriously, did your entire network see that content? Are you 1000% sure? And even if they saw it once, do you really think that they shouldn't see it again? Think about commercials. How many times do they show us the same commercial over and over again, the same billboard, the same marketing message? It is a reason for that. So stop thinking that you have to wow your audience every time you show up. Your audience, yeah, it can be entertaining at moments, but consistency is key, right? Consistency wins the race. Consistency has the $5,000 show up in your account and you didn't even know it was going to be there, right? Yeah. It's true, right? It's like, if that woman who donated to Single Moms Planet went to our social media, went to our website, and everything was shut down, and saw that I wasn't present anymore, that Cole wasn't present anymore, doing the same type of work we've been doing for the last 7 years, guess what? There's nothing to feed into. And so that's what we want to really make sure that you grasp today.
Yay.
All right. So in the comments below, let me know and let Cole know what has been your number one takeaway so far from the last 3 days. We're in the third day now. What's your number one takeaway? Just take a moment to do that. And then as we get into you typing that, we're going to go into the 5 phases of creating media alignment. Okay. So these are 5 phases of creating media alignment. So let us know, what is your number one takeaway? What have you been blessed with from hearing this information from us and just really just vibing with the community and chatting with Amy and the other ladies? I have some clients who are in here as well who've been cheering you on. They've been saying, go for it, jump in. They're awesome. Believe them. We really are. We're just like really amazing and we totally know what we're doing. So we're just really excited though. No, yeah, seriously.
And not only do we know what we're doing, we're committed.
We are
so hands-on. This thing with media and branding and really exploding your brand to another level and expanding it. Nefertiti and I take such a personal ownership to help you through that and fulfill that. Like we're amazing.
You'll be good. So you just need to come on the ride. So are you ready? Because we're about to go into the 5 phases of creating media alignment. So get some paper, get some pen, get a pen, get some, type it in the comments. You can totally type the notes in the comments. We're all about that. And Amy, if you could take a little notes too, just to keep everybody on track, we are going to go into phase 1. And that is about the community, right? Building your community. And we are going to really just share a quick story about S&P and Single Moms Planet, just in case you're like, what's S&P? About Single Moms Planet and how we built a high-level single mothers community. And so as we shared in the beginning of the video, when we first started and jumped on live with you, we were talking about how the media depicted in a big way that single motherhood is a Black poor woman's issue, right? It's like the Black family issue. And we wanted to literally reshape the way that the community, the world, the country shows up and supports single mothers, and that the way that we actually present single mothers to the world, right? So the way that we did that is, number one, we had to find out what were people saying about single mothers, right? And we had to get real about that data. We had to have conversations with banks, people, sponsors, donors. What is your real
government
thought?
Agencies.
Yeah. What's your real thought about what single mothers need? We went to other people's events that were single mother driven. And what we noticed was that a lot of these events were talking to single mothers about welfare. They were talking to them about kind of like getting by, free subsidy type of things, free food. And I could even remember my mom and I went to one event in particular. It's about 200 single moms there. And there was a woman in the audience towards the back. She's like, I don't want to hear about this. I want to hear about how to make money. I want to hear about how to get my life on track. I don't want to get more information about how to keep a poverty mindset, right? How to get things from the government. I don't want to get anything from the government. I want to pave my own way. And so that was really eye-opening for us, because we also were women who were go-getters, right? We're women in business. We had ran companies. We have been well off and done well in the entertainment business for many years. And so we wanted to attract women who were like us, right? And so that is how we looked at, how do we want to build our community? The number one thing that you're going to need as you get into media alignment is who is in your community, right? Okay, so what? You get interviewed somewhere and you post it on your page, nobody gives a crap. Your community is not chimed in and dialed in to the essence of who you are or what you create or your voice. They could care less that you exist, right? And so you have to really get tight on what is the community that is in your network. Who are they? What do they do? What's their buying power? If you say something, are you influential? Will they go and purchase it, right? Do they believe, like, know, and trust you, right? And so, Cole, you have anything to add to that community piece?
Just really developing and make sure it's solid. I think we went through so many different, and two, we helped women and inspired them as well. And we did hear the continuous stories.
We did surveys.
We did all type. And I think we started doing research, asking government agencies and really trying to figure out, like, because Nefertiti and I come from a background where we had lots of money, we made lots of money,
Mm-hmm.
and we were around lots of money. So that impoverished mindset was something that we did not take.
We were not connected
We
to
were
that.
not trying to own that. And
Right.
just, you did such a great job with just really making it high level. And it got so much media attention because it was
Mm-hmm.
almost like, what's happening? These are single moms. And we met so many, and the media just,
We were highlighting the multi-millionaire single moms, the billionaire single moms, and these are self-made. They weren't inheriting anything. You know, we were digging out the real single moms who ran clothing brands that were in Australia, New York, Los Angeles, global companies, and no one was talking about them.
And to the ladies that saw that we existed, were so impressed. They told a friend. They told sponsors. They were excited to donate $5,000 for a table and invite, so forth. Like we didn't have to do, because it was such a stellar event, and also the message was so strong. They just,
people flew in from all over the world, Australia, Japan, Dubai. We've had people flying from Dubai to speak on our panels. You know, so it is really important, the community. Who are you planting around you, right? And we actually cover that in depth in the Media Queen. So when you join our 3-month program, you're going to get hands-on support around the multiple steps and the layers that you need to take to really make sure you have a community that receives your message and that can cause and create a movement with you, right? They're going to show up for you. They're going to, when you speak somewhere, they're flying to see you speak there. They're tuning in, they're buying the ticket, right? They're showing up for you, right? Imagine if you created a world where your community showed up for you on command because you're in an amazing space for excellence. That's what we're talking about. Okay. And so phase two
is TV media training. Media, I'm laughing because when you guys hear this story, you'll understand why it's so important to just be on vibration and the frequency of what it is that when you're stepping into something. So
you're gonna make me laugh. We're gonna end up turning this camera off and the log back in. This is hilarious.
So with the Media Queen, you get hands-on. What we show you what to do. You basically have 3 media sessions with video scripted development and content calendar creation. So you could really know your plan when it comes to how you will attack, I would say, the world, so you can attract the media. So that's what we would do in the Media Queen. And we are so excited to like really grab hold of that for you and really walk you through the process of what it is that you need to do to get that and to get there. And I'll say a little story. So I guess you could start the story.
Well, we were doing an award show and there was a lot of press there. And Cole is the co-founder of the award show, right? So, you know, I think that I feel like you were so used to being behind the scenes.
I was going to say that.
That you just didn't grasp the fact that people were there to also communicate with you.
Yes.
Like she blanked out on the fact that she was a part of what was happening, the greatness that was created. It was like, you know, not media ready. I think that is the key.
Yeah. So basically there was an event that we did an award show for, and there was every local news station in LA was
People
Magazine. And the reason being
Access Hollywood.
You were honoring
Maite
Garcia, which is Prince's ex-wife. So and this is attraction, I mean, God rest his soul, but this had not happened. Nefertiti had reached out to Maite long before to honor her. She accepted it, and basically she showed up. And with that, she showed up, the press showed up because they found out about Single Moms Planet. So I'm so busy working behind the scenes. I didn't bring extra clothes. I had on no makeup. My hair was in a little bun, like everything. And people wanted to take pictures with me and Nefertiti, and I had no clothes. We were in Beverly Hills. I live in the South Bay area.
At the Peninsula in Beverly Hills.
Hotel, looking like a hobo.
Oh
Seriously,
God.
but I was so, like Nefertiti said, I wasn't media ready. And there was so many other opportunities that I realized when I went back in my history in the entertainment business, I wasn't media ready because I'm so used to being behind the scenes. And like I said, I'm an introvert and slightly shy. So this has not done me justice. Mm-hmm. But this one right here has actually coached me into being more present, stepping out, being media ready, and making sure people hear my voice, because we talk a lot. And with all the information with branding, like we've been with different companies and helping them with media training, branding, and really getting their message across, it's always been behind the scenes. So with the media queen,
you gotta stay ready.
You gotta stay ready. Like,
yes,
it's so imperative.
And the media sessions are with our we support with the media sessions, but they're with our media coach, who's amazing. And they are just in depth in the media queen. And you there's probably some of our clients are probably in here, like, they are so stellar, they're so good. We walk you through your 12-month program for, if you have a program you're selling, if you have a book that you're launching, whatever it is that you're creating, we wrap your media plan and your media presence inside of this container when we teach you, when we coach you, right? So you're actually being packaged. Even though the program's only 3 months, you're being packaged for 12 months of creation. We help with your script writing. We review things with you so that you're not ever feeling alone or like you don't know what to do or what's next. And so it's really important that you are media ready and that your brand is present within that media space. It's really key. And so we'll go into phase number 3 now. And phase number 3 is the PR trainings, right? So getting the PR trainings, being PR ready, knowing how to communicate with the PR, the media through PR, right? So making sure that you know how to write your press releases, making sure that you know what that looks like when you're trying to attract the press. Yes, absolutely. And so this brings me to a scenario where we were honoring Anastasia Soare, who is the CEO of Anastasia Beverly Hills, and she is a self-made billionaire. And we actually are going to talk about legacy building here when we go into the story about Anastasia. So first of all, we honored Garcelle Bouvier, who's an actress. She's also one of the hosts on a talk show right now too. I can't remember the name of the talk show, but she's fabulous. She's been in the entertainment business for a long time. We honored her, and we got Anastasia, who's friends with Garcelle, to actually present her with the award. She had an amazing time. She was like, "This is amazing. I want to be honored next year. Like, I'm a single mom. This is my jam. And I love how you put this together." We did it at the Peninsula in Beverly Hills. We had, everything was amazing. Car service for the honorees, champagne, like we do it right? We want it to be a moment to remember. Plus, remember, we are reshaping the way that people treat single mothers. When you come in that space, you could be someone that is just going, "I'm lazy as hell," because the women who we honor are so powerful that you're like, "What have I been doing with my life?" Yes. Like literally, even when we have men show up, they're like, "I've been doing nothing with my life. Like, you all are amazing. How are you doing this and raising kids and running a household, running multiple businesses, making 6 and 7 figures? And how many figures is a billion? What does that look like? I don't even know how many figures."
On how many numbers are at the
a lot of
1 billion.
A lot of them zeros.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? You forgot one major thing with just really branding media and being media ready. Mm-hmm. This was a woman's event. Yes. Men started to gravitate towards that. So our demographic and our audience started to open up, where men were like, "I'm not a single. Well, I was born by a single
raised mom. By a single mom. Yep.
And so even the ones that were not and that were married, it just started to open up and just really expand to so many different audiences that we didn't even consider initially, because it was pretty much our journey and our message. And we wanted to change that stigma of what single mother was looking like for society. So that was definitely one of those things. And Nefertiti didn't mention, Anastasia wanted to have a time slot where she presented and left. She didn't want to be there through the dinner or whatever. We couldn't get her to leave.
She did not want to leave. Yeah, she did. She literally was like, her people were contacting her. She's like, I'm just going to pop in. I'm going to get my award, because we were honoring her as a visionary of the year. And so she was just at the very end of the event. She was like the highlight. And we gotten tons of media and press to show up that wanted to talk to her. And so when she went in, and she had not been in the luncheon the entire time, she saw all these people, hundreds and hundreds of people. She was like, oh my God, like these people are here for me. Like she turned into like a totally different person. She was like blown away.
Was doing interviews.
She stayed for like 2 hours, and her handler who was with her was like, we're supposed to be somewhere. She's like, oh honey, let them wait. I mean, she was like on everybody that wanted to interview. She was doing sit down interviews. Yeah. She was literally taking photo shoots. I think so.
I interviewed her.
I mean, she was lit. Okay. And so that brings us to, even when you have a moment with someone who is just a mega star, right? I mean, she's huge, right? Especially for us as a nonprofit and for many businesses, you got to take advantage. Even though she said, I'm gonna hop in and hop out, we prepared for her to be there. Yes. We prepared for her to have the most amazing experience possible. We told the press that she was coming, that she was going to do interviews, because we thought if we pull this off and make this amazing, why would she leave? Yeah. Right? Why would she leave? And so be prepared for that legacy move, right?
And she donated.
Yeah.
I think 5,000 eyeshadow palettes, like we were giving away for Christmas, because we didn't. It was just so many.
Yeah, eyeshadow palettes. They donated cash as a sponsor. Yeah. They donated in the award show book. And so you want to really make sure that you take advantage of those opportunities. And that is what we are going to get into in the Media Queen, which is like that, creating that powerful media plan, right? How do you streamline those partnerships? How do you turn those partnerships into social influence and impact for your business as well? Right. And so we take you step by step in the Media Queen over those 3 months, how to do this, right? How to foresee not just that moment in time, but how can I keep this person activated in my business for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then beyond, yes. Right?
Building legacy.
Absolutely. All right. So how is everybody feeling right now? Give us some hearts, give us some love, give us some thumbs up, drop us some information and some notes about what are you really connecting to here as we've gone through number 1, which was building the community. Number 2, media trainings, which are super important. And number 3 is building that PR, right? Building that PR brand, really making sure the press is connecting to you and you know how to really strike when the iron's hot, right? Give us some notes about that. Like, is it amazing? Fantastic. Give me some hearts, give me some love, give me some thumbs up. We love seeing that. It really does help with keeping us motivated and going with this with you. And so if you have any questions, drop them in the comments, because we're going to go back and answer those questions as well. Yes. So after we get off this live, we will go back and answer those questions. So just let us know if you have any questions about that. And if you are really excited about what we're sharing and what we're going to be covering in the Media Queen, Amy, go ahead and drop the link so that the ladies can have that for anyone that's just like, I'm ready to hop in, I'm ready to join. This is the right time for me. The time is now. And don't delay. Right. We've already, sold some spots. And so we want to make sure that we are able to work with you. We will be opening up a wait list as well. And so we'll be doing that once we're full at capacity. So just hop in there, Amy, drop that link, and then we're going to go into phase number 4.
Phase number 4 is branding your business. So branding your business, I know that this is a common trendy word. People, branding are 2 different things, but we're talking about branding your business. And with Media Queens, you will get 3 branding sessions to elevate your brand media and expand the visibility on media platform. This will help you really expand and elevate your message to another level. But in order to, and really prepare you for your media and your PR to attract you. So creating media alignment through brand development is extremely important. We will create a strong message. You will create a strong message. We will show you how to create a strong message. That's one of the things that a lot of brands miss. So creating a strong message is one of the things that, to have a solid brand when you're talking about attracting media or aligning with media, the message has to be strong. Being visual, I'm sorry, I can't talk, my voice.
You're good.
This visually attractive. That's another thing. Presenting. And we talked about the community of Single Moms Planet.
Yeah.
It was visually attractive.
Absolutely.
That's why Anastasia didn't want to leave, and people actually donated and paid for tables because it was beautiful. It was at the Peninsula Hotel. So those are
I remember when we first started, we charged $5,000 for our tables and the seats are $500. I remember I had people who were in the philanthropy industry email me nasty emails saying, how dare you charge $5,000 for a brunch? I was like, what? Why are you in my inbox with the hate? Literally scathing and upset that we were doing that. How are you charging? Why would you do that? $500 for a brunch? We're like, yeah, what about it? Mind your business, and just because your ticket's $125 doesn't mean that ours has to be. Our community and our network that we built, bringing you back to number one, can handle that. They want to do that, right? We built it so that we are not nickeling and diming in business. We're not interested in that. And so it doesn't need to make sense. That's a key. What you do when you're building luxury and premium business, because we're talking about luxury and premium business model as well right now, even inside of the Media Queen, that's what we train you on. It doesn't need to make sense to anyone else. Your prices don't need to look like everyone else. The way you show up doesn't need to be like it does for everyone else, right? And when you get those hate emails, say, thank you so much for this. I appreciate it, right? And just eat it up. And I remember at first I was like, I think I probably even called Cole. I was like doubting, like, oh my God, are we not doing something right? Because I was new. We were new to the philanthropic space. We were just like, the amount of effort we're putting in, this is $5,000 for this table. Yeah. We didn't care what somebody else was charging for it, right? And so that is a key thing when you're creating, is to also really be okay with being an industry upsetter.
Yeah. Shaking it up.
Pressing someone's buttons, getting people to notice you, not because you're trying to like entertain folks or look crazy or different, but because you're showing up with something that's just like excellent. You're in like the gap, right? But think about how much research Cole and I did before we took the leap, right? We did some research. We jumped in, we did more research, because every time we did an event, we polled people, we asked questions, then we did another one. We sit down with donors and we say, where are we screwing up at? What do you like? I say, you're not asking us enough questions. You're just doing what you want. Okay, cool. Let's ask more questions, right? Yeah.
And then just because,
and it just brought me back to branding. This is branding. People think branding's like a logo and colors.
Branding is your continuous effort of messaging and marketing and grabbing your audience and captivating your audience. So one thing about the branding session that we do in Media Queens is really create brand equity. Brand equity is different from brand value. Brand value is the price of something costs. The equity, if you think about when you buy a house and you have equity, brand equity gets the loyalists to you and regardless of it. And it actually has created a premium luxury stance for it. So when you take the time to identify this for your media brand, you have to establish that audience and know what it is. And it's okay to create your own niche audience. This is the beauty of all of this new media platform.
Right. You are the new media.
You are.
Don't forget that.
And you are the new star,
right,
of your brand, of your message, of your product, of your services. So you really have to hone in on that. And that's what Media Queens, we walk you through the process. We coach you on what exactly to do and how to present yourself, and actually allow you to communicate with us really about your fears or your doubts and really grab that and take hold of that. That's what this 3-day session is really about, is really having confidence and stepping forward for what you want in life.
And if you're not afraid, it's just not big enough.
No, it's not.
I don't even want to work with someone that's like not afraid of something, because it's like whatever you're planning is just not it. That's what you're telling me, because you're not fearful of anything, right? Like, it's okay. We get nervous. I've been on TV and hosting TV for years, decades. And I got more nervous to go live on Facebook than when I'm hosting something live on stage. It's ridiculous, right? I'm like inside of Facebook going, sweating, going, oh my God, what's going to happen? What if they don't like me? What if I sound weird? Are they going to understand my message? What if I look strange? Are people going to judge me? What about the people from the entertainment business? Are they going to say, what the hell is Nefertiti doing now? So much doubt, so much concern. And it's okay. It's okay. Like, it's beautiful, actually. Because then you know what you're working with.
That's true.
Yeah.
It really is. Your fears, you're falling in.
You're falling in.
So when you join the Media Queen, this is what you get. You get this training that's so amazing. And I say that with so much conviction behind it. And peace, because I know what we've done together collectively and individually, and what we've done to help people build their brand and just really stand up for their media and grab that, because without media, nobody's going to know your brand. Nobody's going to understand your brand. So you have to be able to position yourself for that training and to grab that PR. And this is what we do. There's so many different layers of your business. So you don't want to miss that opportunity to really flesh it out.
Absolutely. And then this brings us to our last phase. And this is phase 5, right? So we're talking about the 5 phases of creating media alignment, just in case you're popping in right now. And we're on phase 5, surround yourself with experts and trailblazers. So important. Do not go at this alone. Do not put your head in the sand and think that you're in the fast lane when you're not. You're not even on the road, right? You don't even know where you are. And so when you have those experts and those trailblazers, it's so important, because you want to look at who's come before you and pave the way, right? Who are they? Thank them. We were talking about this last night. Like, thank the people who've come before you. Give them homage. Like, say, wow, I know what I'm going through. Lord knows what you went through. Lord knows what Oprah went through just to be where she is today, for us to be able to go live on YouTube and Facebook, right? She's also a part of women empowerment in the media space, for women to have a voice, to have our own network, right? Can you imagine? And so I really want you to just take a moment right now and type in the comments below, who do you want to just thank for allowing us to even have this medium, this conversation? What are the experts that you watch on YouTube or Facebook, or people that you just admire, or people that are in your current life? Who do you want to thank right now? Put their names in the comments below. We want to know who they are. We may start following them and seeing what they're up to, right? Who are those trailblazers that pave the way? And that's why in the Media Queen, we go over really making sure that not only do you become an expert, right? Not only that you are getting positioned to be that trailblazer, but you have those people around you. We bring them to you in the sessions to create that seamless alignment, so that you start having connection with those top media brands, the journalists, the experts from around the world. And so I want to end this segment of this communication around our phases, which is saying, don't just create from a local level, right? We have global reach right now. And so even if you have a local business, still, even if you want to potentially do that global brand in 6 months or a year out, still communicate and create from that thinking and from that space. And look at what national and global brands are already in the space that you want to be a part of, right? Mm-hmm. Where do you want to go? What are they doing? It's okay to know what people are doing. Don't create in the dark, right? I think Cole does so much research. Like, if you ask her not only about her business, she also knows what other businesses that are similar or like to her business, are doing? What type of campaigns do they have? What products did they come out with in the last 3 years? What type of products are they coming out with in the future? Who creates and formulates the product? Where are the products made at? I mean, the data that this woman has in her head around the expertise of her brand is exactly where we want to be able to take you, right? And so we're going to put those experts around you when you join the Media Queen. And so give us some hearts, give us some love, give us some thumbs up. We have one more amazing exercise that we want to do for you for the last 5 minutes. And we want to just really just say congratulations to every single woman that has been on these calls live with us, that has watched the replays, that has invited a friend or a family member. We want to say thank you. Any woman that sat through the conversation around money, sat through the conversation around investing in yourself and not clicking off the button when we start talking about money and that $4,500 investment for the Media Queen, right? Because sometimes we get confronted when we don't have something. We think that this conversation is not for me, but that's not you being in alignment. Even if you don't have it, I want you to communicate with yourself, communicate with God, communicate with the universe that you have it right now, right? You have it right now and it's going to show up and you're going to step into it. Yes. And so we just want to thank you for being a container for that space and for sharing what we do. All right. So I want you to ask this question, Cole, because this is all your jam right here.
So who is afraid to speak in front of an audience? And you guys can put a 1 if you are.
Yeah, or do a hand raise, do a 1. I like 1 and 2. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 if you are, 2 if you're not.
Yeah.
Right.
And we want to say, like, a lot of us have fear of speaking in front of people because we don't want to be judged. But you can start off by closing your eyes and speaking to yourself in your mirror. True. And just imagine and visualize an audience around you and imagine that they're so close to you that it's uncomfortable.
Oh, that's good. And do you have like stage fright? Is there any anxiety there? Like, what do you feel when you're thinking about standing on that stage? Are you afraid to share your story? Right? Do you think people are going to judge you? They're going to tell, they're going to say, oh, she's sharing her business, or, she's talking about her mama, or whatever it is, right? What are you thinking is going to happen? Let it all happen right now.
Yeah, let it happen.
Just let it happen.
Yeah. And like when you're talking to your friends, even though your audience may be strangers, but try to connect with them spiritually and know that there's a connection while they're there and they're gravitating towards you. So look at them as a friend that you haven't befriended yet. And want to know about you. When you meet someone,
you only need that one person to talk to.
You only need that one person. So
it's so true. That one person in the audience. You don't have to talk to everybody, right? You really don't.
Person, you can look and focus on that. And the great thing about just being present and falling in and really delivering your message and standing in front of an audience, whether it be virtually or publicly or privately, whatever that is, you guys can step into it. It's time. It's time to step into it. It's time to grab a hold. It's time for people can hear your voice.
And it's time to meet your media godmother.
Yes.
It is time to meet your media godmother. And your media godmother is going to be the face of whoever you want it to be, right? It could be your actual grandmother or, someone in your life. It could be someone on television. It could be an Oprah. I keep bringing up Oprah today. It could be a person you make up. And she's going to have on something amazing, right? So she's going to have on whatever you are connected to, the colors. It could be yellows and blues and glitter and gold. See her right now. So the first thing that you're going to do is see your spiritual media guide. Experience her as your fairy media godmother, granting you with your true heart's desires. Okay? So you're going to close your eyes and put your body in a safe, serene space, right? It could be in your home. It could be in your backyard. It could be somewhere in Europe, wherever you want it to be, right? And it could be where you are currently at. It could be your childhood home and anywhere that brings you peace and security. I want you to feel really safe, okay? And I want you to imagine her magic wand. It has lights and gold and magic and sparkles all coming out of it. And she is your media godmother, and her guidance is running all over your body like a river, right? Becoming the incubator for your media dreams to show up. right? And so when you think about what you want, you summons her into your experience, and she's going to grant you what you want. And what I want you to do is drop us the love about how you feel about her right now. Thank her for being there for you. Thank her for allowing you to create the media empire of your dreams, right? Allow her to come in, and she can come with you everywhere you go. Even right before you're about to do an interview, even when you're thinking about going live, you're going, oh, I don't want to. Imagine her just sprinkling you with all that media love, right? It can be magic. Think about Walt Disney. His whole thing was a magical kingdom, right? Think about the empire that he built. This is you. This is your media empire. This is your media world. All right. And so we've had a wonderful time having this conversation with you. And we love for you to come on in and hop into one of the spots that we have left. We have a few for the Media Queen. We're going to be starting on January 10th. This is a 3-month program, and you are going to be blown away. If you have any questions for us about this program, you can always talk to myself or Cole. You can also reach out to Amy, who's here for support. And if you're ready, drop us some yeses. Right? If you had a great time, drop us some yeses. If you enjoyed this content, drop us some yeses, drop us some love, right? Continue to share with us what you dreamed about, what you felt, right? And also go into your workbook, right? So make sure you go into your workbook. There's a day 3 of the workbook, and it's about believing. And this is going to be about being versus living, right? So that's how we're giving you an example, being versus living. And so what do you believe in? And then what's stopping you could be on the other end, right? It's like, this is what I want, and then this is what's stopping me. And so you can just do this exercise so you can remove these constraints, remove these beliefs, and get these belief systems out of your system. And we are going to be back here tomorrow. We'll be here for the bonus content, which is going to be January 6th. This is Divine Creator. So we'll be doing Divine Creator. And this is going to be a great exercise we're going to carry over for 2 days. And this is about a rock meditation, correct, Cole?
Yeah, it is. It's about, we'll go over it tomorrow, but it's going to be fabulous. It's about really taking all the information that you got and you heard, just really taking it in. And this is bonus. This is divine content where we're going to really just show you how to really get rid of those doubts, those fears, and those insecurities,
right?
To be able to step into what it is. And I believe the workbook, being versus living, if that's confusing, the living is the traditionals and belief and systematic society of what they structure you to do. That's the living. The being is actually going beyond the actual reality of living. So it's the law of becoming. So you want to make sure, if that's confusing, to send us a comment or ask a question, but don't overthink it. Just really know what that is. It's stepping out of your reality and going into another dimension.
Right. And like Cole just said, don't overthink it. If you feel something come up that says this is a block, just believe it and write it down. It could be something super simple that you think that's not a block, it's not doing anything, but you don't know. Through the work, as we continue to do the work for the next 2 days, and you go back and watch these recordings, it will start to make sense. Sometimes it's the littlest thing that you're thinking, this is not affecting me. And it could be literally shifting the way you show up for the last 10 years, 15 years. It is huge. So don't ignore the little thoughts when you ask the question of your core and of your soul and your spirit. When you say, what's stopping me or what's blocking me, believe it. The spirit of the core is beyond intelligence, right? It is beyond our thinking. So don't downplay what it is bringing to the table when it's communicating. You ask the questions. All right. So we'll see you here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go ahead and sign up with us for the Media Queen. We start on January 10th, and we'll see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. Bye.